Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Seth. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And I'm feeling a whole lot better. Not sick anymore. I'm feeling fantastic and I'm super ready to make this video because, of course, you already saw the thumbnail. The long-awaited Maid Aoi is coming out, and I would just want to talk about her, talk about why she's so good, why she's so hyped up. And I also wanted to talk about all the other memorias that are going to also be coming out. There's gonna be two separate banners. One with Maid Aoi. We have Thunder Byakko. We also have the other banner which has the Rolita Sugawara Chie, and we also have SS1 Fubuki Mikoto coming out. So first things first, we all know Maid Aoi is like super busted strong, but I feel like the other memorias that are on these two banners are super underrated. I think they do a lot more than people think and like the tier lists say. I think they're really good memorias, and I'm gonna explain all of that right now. Let's talk about Maid Aoi. You know her, you love her. Let's talk about why she's so good. Everything in her kit revolves around her exclusive skill. So she builds up trophies. I'm sure you've seen a couple other characters that also use trophies, the trophy stacking system to dish out damage, such as Tsukishiro Monaka and Maria de Angelis. But Maid Aoi is definitely the only one who can stack trophies very easily thanks to her ability, where every time she takes damage, she gains one trophy while the rest of the other characters have to attack. Maid Aoi just takes damage, and her skill increases her defense, raises the trophy 1 or 2 depending on how much intelligence you have. So most likely just 1, because you're not going to be building intelligence on Maid Aoi. And you're going to also taunt the enemy, which means that for 2 to 3 turns, again, it's based off of how much vitality or spirit you have. 2 to 3 turns, you will taunt the enemy, and the enemy will only attack Maid Aoi. And the skill only costs 4 SP. It raises your trophy count by 1. The max is 10, by the way. And each trophy count increases her exclusive skills damage by 16% per trophy. And the max is 10. So it will be 160% damage up when you have max trophies. The thing is, her exclusive skill scales off vitality, so you would just stack as much vitality as you can. And because of that, the taunt on her 4 SP skill will be 3 turns automatically. It will last for 3 turns. It's 2 to 3 turns depending on how much vitality or spirit you have. But because you just stack so much vitality on her, you don't even have to have that much vitality on her, and you will get the 3 turn count. Because I don't have a specific build for Maid Aoi, but they still get taunted for 3 full turns, which is pretty ridiculous in my honest opinion. And of course, the defense up from the skill is 33 to 47% increase based on how much intelligence he has again. So you're most likely gonna just be at the 33% defense up, but that is still a lot of damage mitigation. So yeah, Aoi is a tank that tanks, hits, builds up all those trophies, and then dishes out massive damage. And the scaling is ridiculous. The scaling, for some reason, it just does so much damage. The only downside is that it's only 3 hit count. So you might want someone like SS1 Union to up her hit count a little bit, or other, buffers that can do the same thing. And then once you got those in the same party, you're going to be dishing out tons and tons of damage. She is the premier Thunder DPS. You will never have to use anyone else again if you get the Vampire Sharirota, which will come out in the near future. And once you get her, the debuff for Sharirota, yeah, and then you'll just have a Thunder team that you can use for every scenario, because so far there is no enemy that can mitigate the Thunder weakness implant that Sharirota does. There's no enemy that negates it. So you will always have an enemy that's Thunder weak, and then you can use Maid Aoi forever if that's what you so choose. I think it's more fun to build a crap ton of teams, so that's why I don't do that. She is one of the only DPSs with the trophy stack system that is like SS tier in my humble opinion. She is super easy to use. She's super friendly because of her ability to build trophies just by taking damage. And if the enemy acts multiple times, that's even more trophies. You can stack it even faster. I can't, yeah, so I can't say that she's bad in any way. She is premier thunder DPS. Roll her if you want, because again, I said in my last video, something at the end of February is happening. I can't give any details, but it is happening, and I think you should watch out for that. Maid Aoi will come eventually if you do skip her. So yeah, just a heads up. Also, let's talk about the other Memoria on the banner, which is Thunder Byakko. She gets a normal skill that lowers the enemy defense by 100% flat. No scaling, no intelligence scaling, no nothing. It's just flat 100% defense down for one turn, of course. Which is honestly not that bad. It's like a debuff skill, and it also builds devastation rate, so it's not bad at all. Her exclusive skill, however, builds up a lot of devastation rate, but if you hit the enemy weakness, which you should be doing anyway all the time, if they're weak to the thunder element, they will be taking increased damage, 14% to be exact, and she will be doing a massive amount of devastation rate to the enemy. You would be building a lot of devastation rate. She is somewhat like the ninja Hide that just released, who is a premier ice DPS. They do basically the same thing, except Hide seals the enemy sometimes. 45% is not that big of a deal, but Hide does 23% more damage when it hits the enemy weakness and does less devastation rate. However, while I was filming this video, my Hide for some reason did like 500% devastation rate on one of the anachronies while I was making this video. So the devastation rate increase from Byakko is not important. So she falls a little behind Hide in that sense. And of course their elements are different. So yeah, she is the Thunder Hide, but weaker. However, I do think she is very underrated. She still does a lot of damage. She can build devastation rate up really fast without needing like crazy supports to build up her hit count, and she does very decent damage. I think that even if you miss Aoi and you get Byakko, I think it is fine if you stop and just use Byakko as your thunder DPS, because I think she's very good. She has pretty high hit count. She has a 9 hit skill, and yeah, she does good damage. What can I say? So although Maid Aoi is SS tier, I think Thunder Byakko deserves a high A tier. I think she is fine. Next, let's talk about the second banner. First, let's talk about the Rolita costume Sugoarachie. So just like Aoi, Rolita Sugayan also scales off vitality on her exclusive skill, and she gets a normal skill that she can use on all of her memorias that ups her vitality by 19 to 24 at max level for 2 turns, and also taunts the enemy for 2 to 3 turns. So it is the same thing with Aoi. It taunts, it raises her vitality, except Maid Aoi's one raises her trophy count and the defense instead. Sugayan just raises her vitality stat flat. And the reason why she has a skill that also costs only 3 SP, by the way, is very good. The reason why she has this is because her exclusive skill scales off her vitality. So the more vitality she has, the more damage she's going to be doing. And the scaling is actually like really good. I was actually really surprised that the scaling was this high. It also does 10 hits, which is a lot for a crush type DPS. She's going to be hitting a lot of times. She's going to be dishing out a lot of damage that scales off her vitality. And also, if the enemy is taunted, the SP is cut in half. So it costs 14 SP to use her exclusive skill, but it cuts down to just 7. And I think that is overlooked most of the time, and I think that is like crazy good. So yeah, the video I'm showing in the background is just like how much disgusting damage she can actually do in the Anachrones thing with like pretty good devastation rate. She can dish out a lot of damage. Like I feel like people sleep on this Memoria. Don't sleep on this Memoria. If you like Sugayan, you like the costume, go for it, man. She is disgustingly strong. I didn't think she was this strong, to be quite honest. I was so ready to trash talk her for this video, but I couldn't, because while I was making it and I did that Anachrones, I realized that wow, she's actually really good. And yeah, if you like Sugayan, you like the costume, again, go for it, man. She's really good. Also, the second Memoria on this banner is also super good. It's she's a debuffer, Mikoto Fubuki, the first SS of her. Her exclusive skill exposes enemy vulnerabilities, which is a good debuff. It scales off intelligence and luck, both in tandem with each other. So if the enemy is weak to a certain element, they'll be taking 35 to 50% more damage based on, you know, how much intelligence, how much luck you have. I don't know what the exact cap is. You can look that up yourself if you do care, but just stack intelligence and luck. And while in overdrive and you use this exclusive skill, you'll also be putting on a debuff. I don't really know what the debuff is called in English. Don't flame me or anything. I didn't do enough research, but it lowers their stats by 20% for 2 turns, which is really good. It's really good in overdrive. You can stack these debuffs twice if you're in overdrive 3. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. She just puts on 2 debuffs in while she's in overdrive, which is already pretty decent in my opinion. But when you progress through the clock tower, and I don't know if it's released on her release, but you can upgrade it, so it's gonna be the plus sign next to the exclusive skill, and she'll be doing 3 debuffs now. So for 2 turns, once you maxed it out for 2 turns, you'll be exposing their vulnerabilities. You'll also be giving them a defense down, and you will, in overdrive, you will be giving another debuff that lowers their stats by enemy stats by 20, all their stats for 2 turns. Everything for 2 turns, which is 3 debuffs that are all general debuffs, is like super good. She also gets a skill that only costs 6 SP, and it lowers their dark defense. So yeah, she has 4 buffs in her kit. If you max it out, she has 4 buffs. I don't know if it's released yet, but still, that's really good. She's good investment, because once you get that skill upgrade, oh my god, she is disgusting. And even in my showcase video where I don't have it upgraded, she still allowed my Sugayan to do 40 million damage in that Anachrones. And speaking of Anachrones, I think that's where this Memoria really shines, because you have to be an overdrive gauge to get the full benefit of her exclusive skill, which means that when you're in Anachrones and you build up that overdrive gauge, overdrive 3, and then you switch into your second team with Mikoto Fubuki on it, you can instantly hit that overdrive 3, stack up triple debuffs. These are good debuffs, and you can use another debuff or stack even more debuffs and make your damage dealer do more damage. That's why she's so good. Yeah, build overdrive, make her put more debuffs. Yeah, that's basically it. And I've been rambling on for long enough. I just had a lot to say about these Memorias, just because I've never been more surprised using these Memorias than the other Memorias that I made videos about. Because all the other Memorias that I made videos about, the damage or like the outcome was pretty expected, which is usually kind of bad. The outcome, I wasn't surprised when they didn't do enough damage, you know. I just wasn't surprised when they kind of sucked. But this time, it was really surprising to see Byakko and Tsugayan do that much damage, especially Mikoto Fubuki, who like did a lot more than I thought she did, especially with she also has a skill upgrade that actually didn't know about. I wasn't like paying attention when it came out. And yeah, she got a skill upgrade that would make her even better. And I was already surprised about how good she was when I used her for the first time. Makes me really happy. Like I have more things to play with now. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Both banners are extremely good. Roll for who you want, but let me just say again, end of February, something big is happening, and you might want to save your courts for that. Even if Maid Aoi is out right now, you can get her in the future. You don't have to force yourself to get her. Don't spend wisely is what I'm trying to say. Spend wisely, because end of February, you might be opening up the wallet if you do go for Maid Aoi. So yeah, just a disclaimer. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really fun video to make because I was, yeah, like I said before, I was so surprised with all the other memorias. And yeah, thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.